A very good evening to all our attendees and viewers who are watching it live on Facebook and YouTube. Very warm welcome to all the Saga series. A quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book. Pick a Book is all about reading and more reading and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pick a Book. Currently, Pickabook marked its inspiring presence in four countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK, with over 600 plus readers, 18 regions, and 30,000 plus people inspired through our sessions in just a span of 1 year. Pickabook continues to spread its wings across the globe. We have come up with a new initiative, a wing of Flipside called Other Saga series, wherein authors can reach their readers and individuals with like-minded interests. Authors can also discuss the key insights of their books, and readers can have the opportunity to know more about the book from the author himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, the author who is joining us today, he holds a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, trained under renowned trainer Mr. A.P. Ramadas, and worked with esteemed companies like Hiranandani Constructions, Hija Constructions, etc. Over the years, he has co-founded a successful project management consultancy firm named Mancom and has few private limited firms to his credit. These companies gave Nimish the experience of handling prestigious large-scale projects on a national scale. Throughout his career, he has donned the hats of a developer, consultant, developer, and contractor, and has supervised myriad projects amounting more than 70 lakh square feet. Nimish believes that empowering employees right from the supervisory level to the top management is necessary to align successful organization-wide business goals. Together, as a prescient strategist, life coach, Kalyani Kamble, and veteran business advisor Nimish Desai worked on both the mind and matter of business to empower India's entrepreneurs to create a global benchmark. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Nimish Desai, and we're glad to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, Swana, for calling me on the show.
Um, okay, start with I interested to know how did your journey as a writer start in first place?
I've always been interested in writing because I was always fascinated with the fiction books. I have more than 800 books at home, and I always wanted to write also. I mean, right from childhood, it's been there in me. My mother should be thanked for that, for giving me that habit of reading books. And my first two chapters of the books were actually written, believe me or not, in 1996. Probably I
Okay.
was not matured enough to write a book. And during this COVID, then it all of a sudden struck me again that see, I've been in this construction industry for 30 years, more than 30 years now, and I want to give back. And we know our industry is such a disorganized industry. Morely, it's Babu driven, and there are very few corporates in our industry. So I want to see that my industry becomes more organized, becomes more corporate kind of a working. And that gave me an idea, why not give back as a book to them? And once I decided this time to write a book, in flat 30 days, I wrote the whole book. 21st September was my dad's birthday. So on 21st August, I decided to write my first, what you call, page. And 21st August is my mother's birthday. So I started writing on my mother's birthday, finished the book, and published on 21st September, which is my dad's annual birthday. So the
Okay.
whole journey happened in a flash once I decided.
Okay. That's really interesting to know that. Um, that's a nice way of targeting actually everybody's our loved one's birthday. That's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, that gives you a incentive to finish.
Yeah, very
And you
lovely
remember
incentive.
the lifelong when it was published.
True, true. Okay, so I mean, you having done civil engineering and been more into construction domain, handling large scale projects. I mean, your most of the time is invested on that. So, what inspired you to become an author?
Now, as I told you, I want to give back to my industry, and the best way to give back is write a novel, a book, which will
Okay,
be there even after I'm gone. I can use this book I've given away to all my engineers and everybody to read it, to grow. I mean, mature yourself, upskill. Your upskills doesn't happen only in the technical field, it happens in your personal grooming also. You have to upskill yourself. And this is the whole book is targeted basically at that. And my idea is to give back as much as I can to my industry.
very thoughtful of you, Mr. Nimish. Thank you. And were you an avid reader? And do you think the habit of reading actually helps to bring out the author in you? Did that help
Oh,
you?
it does. It does. It does. I mean, unless you don't read what's written, how will you structure the book? In fact, I did little Google Baba is best today in our world now. So I asked Google Baba how to structure a book, how to write it, and I read couple of other books to understand that you need a preface, you need a foreword, you need a dedication and all that. You need to read, and believe me, you learn a lot by reading. I mean, if you the best example I can give you is read a novel which is brilliant and watch the movie that is made from that. Believe me, you will love the book
Oh,
more than the movie. Why? Because there are all the details in the book which you can actually experience, which you can't while you are
okay.
watching a movie.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
would
you can
strongly
imagine on the
recommend.
screen.
Yeah, I love to imagine. I mean, then the imagination goes when you're reading.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you
That's that.
actually
I'll pick
develop
a
the
book.
brain.
True. True. We very much agree that with you actually. Our pick a book vision is also the same. To bring out the habit that missed out golden habit of reading back into everyone's lives. Yeah. So, I mean, off the camera, I've been, talking to you, and you have been sharing us some interesting point about the nonfiction, learning from nonfiction books. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people may not be connected to that, but I just want to share that point, especially for our audience today, from
I
you.
mean, believe me, I mean, people feel that non-fiction books are no good. You can learn so much from non-fiction books. In fact, I learned once to disguise myself, and when I
Yeah.
walked across people whom I know, they did not even bat an eyelid because they could not recognize me. I learned it from Robert Ludlum, from his book, probably The Matrices Circle, and uh, and there are so many incidences in non-fiction book also which are driven from fiction books. I mean, there are so many incidences. I firmly believe even the non-fiction book can teach you a lot if you look for what to learn.
Mm.
If you're going to read it as an entertainment, even the fiction books are going to be like that only. I mean, you'll just read unless you don't look for something to learn. You need to have a takeaway from everything,
Yeah.
and that's the
Ladies
whole
and
idea.
gentlemen. Yeah, that's very true, ladies and gentlemen. Today I've got to learn this point also. Like, we can actually get some learnings from the fiction books as well. So far, it's a notion that fiction books are just meant for entertainment or just a time pass thing. Just imagine, um, which doesn't exist. But this is also a new point for us to look at it differently this time. So probably a good point to know from the conversation. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Nimish. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, yeah, Nimish, it is perfect.
Thank you.
For a
Okay.
change, you pronounced it first time right. A lot of people call me Nimish, Nimesh. You've been
Okay.
spot on.
Thank you so much for that. Okay. On the lighter side, if I want to know, if we want to snatch a particular day from your calendar, what would it typically look like?
A day from my calendar? Don't ask me
Hmm.
that. I mean, I never, I think in last 10 years, believe me, I have not worked for more than 5 hours a day. And that is what I tell people, that if you organize yourself properly, if you have the courage and
Mm.
trust to delegate work to your subordinates,
Okay.
you can work less. You can look at the bigger picture and let the others do the grunt work, because you are not meant to do the grunt work.
Mm.
You are there as an entrepreneur to look at the bigger picture and how to take the company further. So I think I watch about 3 to 4 hours a day series on the Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. That also teaches me a lot, believe me. I read before going to sleep. It's been ritual for last, I think, 30, 40 years, that I read for about hour and a half. And if the book is interesting, probably it'll stretch up to 3 a.m. So, but I have to read every day night. I mean, whatever may be the stage, I can't sleep before reading for at least an hour. And mornings are pretty chilled out with walk and other things. I'm pretty easy to go lucky, Swarna. I believe in live one day at a time, live today, right? Tomorrow will take care of itself. So
Yeah.
enjoy today. uh, कल किसने देखा है? I've seen today, live today.
Exactly. That's a very valid point, and a very much needed a positive thought to take, especially in the present scenario. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, you
you know,
work with what is in your control rather than
mm,
crave about what is not in your control.
exactly.
I mean, you will feel more empowered, you will feel more positive if you work with what is in your control rather than blaming others or not owning up to the responsibility that you have your own. I
Yes,
firmly believe that.
exactly. There's absolute truth in that, because half of the time we either live in the past, or and half of the time we try to think of the future, but we never focus on the day we are living in. So that's where the majority of the the trauma lies in. Probably that's the reason why we feel so
In fact,
unsuccessful, unhappy, stressful.
Swarna, I did one Nimish's nugget yesterday based on that only. I hope everybody knows yesterday was a World Hypertension Day. And that World Hypertension Day has come into existence only in 2005.
Okay.
Why? Because we are not patient. That patience is gone. We want to either be in past or in future, or we want everything to happen. I mean, instant gratification, and that's wrong.
Very well said. Few very important points to be taken from this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, please note it down. And let's now quickly move on to know more about the what the author wants to share from the book, and what we have to learn from the book as well. Um, Okay, if someone has to choose this book, the book you have written, what is that they can expect from the book, and why did you choose this title?
As I told you, our industry is highly disorganized.
Okay.
So what I want to highlight is power of being organized, and then the tagline is construction efficiency unraveled. So people feel कि नहीं ये ऐसे ही चलता है ये industry में. That I have heard is worse than the even the bad word, because that allows you to shrug your responsibility. That does not allow you to do the best that you can do, and that allows you to just lay down, lay back. कि चलता है. And I don't want that to happen. Be organized. I mean, there's one special thing I would like to highlight from then, Swarna, is most of the construction industries, or you any corporate, there are multiple departments, and a lot of departments are interconnected with each other. All right. Now, what we do, we live in today's email world. So you send an email, supposing you are in a different department and I need something, I've sent you an email. Now I need it 30 days afterwards. It's good on my part that I've given you 30-day notice. But then I sit tight on that. I expect you to remember that. I expect you to follow up on that and send me my requirements on 30th day. Isn't it my responsibility also to keep reminding you on regular intervals? And I tell people, and it's written in the book, it's not a drama. that where each actor will come at the right time. He's watching the whole drama of 3 hours. कि मेरा time, my clue has come now I have to go on the stage and go and deliver. This is a long marathon. So everybody, and supposing Swarna, if you loaned me 1 lakh rupee, just 1 lakh, and I've told you I'll give you after 30 days,
Mm.
would you not remind me till you don't get that?
Definitely.
So whatever I've requested you to give me,
Mm.
I have to consider it as a loan. And I
Yeah.
have to keep reminding you till I don't get what I've asked for.
Yes.
Unfortunately, people say कि मैंने उसको email भेज दिया था, उसने भेजा नहीं. This is shrugging of responsibility.
True.
And that
True.
is what my books talks about a lot, is owning up to our responsibility to become more organized, because that will help the project, that will help the company, that will help your own growth.
Yes.
And 80% I would say I've targeted to the construction industry, but any corporate, any entrepreneur, barring few chapters which are only construction specific, can take a lot of takeaways from the book, because it's about becoming organized, and becoming organized ka first step is owning up to the responsibility.
True.
If you don't want to, you'll not be organized, and then you keep blaming my industry कि it's not organized. I can't help it.
True.
That's the whole book takeaway in
Awesome.
nutshell.
That's a great start, I would say. Actually, that's a very, very, very important and necessary. A lot of people actually we least use this. I mean, we like you said, we just think that sending the message away finishes the job. Um, there are a lot of
No, I
people
mean,
we
in
would
my
do
company,
that.
there's a culture. My company, I mean, as you said, I am a director at three construction industries. I say, unless you don't receive your material, responsibility lies
Mhm.
with you. I'm not going to blame anybody else.
Yes,
It's
what
your
you
baby.
lies on follow. Yeah,
Yep.
that is very true. Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have got some good points here. First step, being organized, just start being responsible. Only until and unless you get it back, it's your own responsibility to keep reminding. It's not just their responsibility to come back to you, it's equally your responsibility as well. So that's a good point to start the conversation with from this beautiful book, Being Organized. Let's now move on to my second question. Um, so you have, in this book, you have insisted on designing the complete project first. So what is the rationale behind that?
I'll tell you a small story. When I was in Hiranandani construction, when I was working, and it was 92 to 96, and in 94, we had a project manager from BNO come from London. They were to do some tabs with Hiranandani. Now, they are the company responsible for constructing the Channel Tunnel ka London side ka station. Okay. And believe me, as a project manager, is the highest post. And when I asked him his qualification, he said he started in the company as a carpenter and he rose. And he said the construction of the channel tunnel did not start till the last screw detail was not on the project book, bound and ready. Now, what
Mm,
happens with that is, if you have the whole project drawings, decisions, everything ready, you can
mm,
make every single person accountable for it. You
okay.
can budget the project very correctly. You can
Mm,
monitor the project again. You can make everyone accountable. Unfortunately, in real estate industry, what happens is drawings come as and when required. Sometimes I am waiting for drawings to come and I'm getting delayed. Why?
mm,
Because the client wants to save a little money of paying your off to the architects and architectural consultants and others, and they're thinking कि कल मेरे को कुछ change करना होगा तो I'll be able to change. Now, why such an indecision? The whole consultancy fees probably will not be more than 4% of the project. Because of that, they don't understand the amount of project delays are going to happen because drawings and decisions are not in place. I don't think anywhere in the world they work like that. I'm not sure. Unless they are real mega projects, probably there, yes. But on the
mm,
kind of scales where we do residential projects, you can
mm.
definitely have. a whole thing ready, because then everybody is crystal clear, so now what to do.
True.
And that's the whole idea behind me saying this, because you can get everyone involved, make the best possible project that you can, and
Mm.
just go ahead with it. Then you don't need to worry about it. Just
Exactly.
monitor. It becomes so easy. Only thing
Yes,
left is to monitor the project, period.
that is true. That works. That makes the job easier. You know, it actually saves us from the unexpected hurdles. You know, if everything is planned well in advance, and we can, just make a complete book out of a project.
You save so much of a chaos, you save so much of a heartburn, you save so much of a stress to your own life.
Yes,
People don't
absolutely.
want to. I mean, people love to live in chaos. I don't know why.
So that's our subconscious style of working. It has kind of become a subconscious style of working. So
Look,
we all use
sometimes I feel Indians are most of the time penny wise pound foolish.
that.
I mean, you are looking at an instant gratification, as I told you. कि मेरा आज कितना बच रहा है? I mean, they are not looking at the amount of time lost, then the project overruns.
Yeah,
Very sad story.
we should have an eye and a vision of the future as well. That is very, very important. So eye for future.
We are doing
Yeah,
that on our projects today. I mean, we bind the complete project and only then I insist on starting. Otherwise, no. I
yeah.
say take 3 months out, go to Khandala, sit everyone together there, break your heads, give me the final drawings, and only then I'll start the project.
Okay. That's good. So it's interesting to know that, but though this book has been very different for all of us. I mean, so far, I have done so many sessions with other authors and other books, but this is something like, the title says being organized, but this comes from a construction domain. You know, so initially I thought, how does this match? But when I say this discussion with you, like you said, there's a learning in everything. Like how you said, from the fiction books, we can learn something. From even from the construction focused books, also there's a lot to learn. The being organized title is very much justifiable now after learning and after coming to these points. That's interesting. So we now know that there exists a concept called construction management. That's first time to hear that. That's interesting to know that as well. Okay. So you have dedicated one complete chapter to quality manual. So why is it all? Like, I mean, all of us knows that the quality is important and it's the most prioritized one. But what is that you made it a point to elevate its importance?
I mean, imagine most of the industries have their own quality manuals. Okay. Good point is lot of companies have become aware in our industry today, and they have. But my again point of making quality manual is that you are then system driven. You are not person driven.
Yes.
I may have today a brilliant engineer who's very quality conscious, and he'll do a very good job on my project. For some reason, if he leaves me and somebody else comes, and if he's not so quality driven and he's typical chalta hai type, my project is going to suffer. But if I have a quality manual, if I have all the processes written down there, then anybody who comes, I mean, my guru AP Remedies, he taught me one thing. Whatever you make, Nimish, make it donkey proof. Even donkey should be able to run like a horse if you tell the donkey how to run. It may not achieve the same speed, but it will. So whatever systems you make, so quality manual is one of is basically systems and processes. So you make in a such a way that anybody who joins your company knows what is expected of him to deliver on that particular project. And
Mm.
that's the whole premise of writing that chapter.
Awesome. Awesome. That's very much needed actually. Not just from constructions or point of view or just a project point of view, or for that matter, any small scale enterprise to the large scale enterprise. Uh, People are not. permanent. System is what is permanent. So, better system will always drive the results positively. So, a good point again to learn, ladies and gentlemen. So, maintain the quality menu, and like you said, donkey proof is something a new word. We have learned it today. Uh, a good point to learn as well. And with that great learning, let's now move on to my next question. Um, you have also emphasized on data collection and its interpretation. How is it applicable to real estate industry?
You would be shocked to hear, Swarna, that data again proves that 95% of the data by the industry is either not collected or thrown away. Now, any industry depends on data. Your decisions have to be data driven. We have today in our company a Quadra, and we are making an AI applicable to it, wherein every single point is monitored based on data. If my project is delayed, it is delayed could be on so many various aspects. Whether the decision was not there, money was not there, materials was not available on time, labor was not available on time. I could not execute for some any other reason. Now, if you do not collect those data and
Mm,
not use it like a postmortem, I mean, why do you do postmortem? Postmortem basically, Swarna, is a data again. If you look at it very coldly, it's a data. And
mm,
from there, scientists learned to make cures for various diseases. Without those
mm,
data, would they have been able to make those cures? No, those medicines. Similarly, for your own industry, you need those data so that you are data driven. Your decisions are based on data, not on whims and fancies. कि मेरे को लग रहा है कि ये project is, I mean, believe me, you ask any developer, they have data for their marketing department. 100%. मैंने इतना रुपया खर्चा किया, ये एरिया में इतना का एड लगाया तो इतना वॉक-इन्स आया, everything they'll have. But when you ask about construction, do you have data? They don't have. Why? Is that construction not more important than the
mm,
marketing? The amount of money that you save because of the data is
mm.
actually an earning for you, no? It adds to your bottom line. And that, unfortunately, people have still not realized that you have to be data driven. Moment they will, I think industry will really improve more.
Great. Okay. So you have mentioned in the book also, right? The book title being organized. Some traditional ways to boost efficiency. Can you just elaborate more on it for our lovely audience tonight?
Regarding, I lost you there, Swarna.
You have mentioned in the book, like some traditional ways to boost efficiency.
Yeah, non-traditional methods to boost. I mean, uh,
Mm,
I'm saying non-traditional from real estate industry's point of view. All right. Most of the major corporates around the world and in India have a training calendar.
okay.
You walk out and ask any developer that do you have a training calendar? Unfortunately, they don't. They see that as an what you call a spend. They don't see it as an investment. The psyche is कि if I've paid an engineer or a supervisor to perform, he's supposed to perform. What we fail to understand is if we upscale his skills,
Mm,
if we upscale his normal life, he is giving back ultimately to the company because he's spending more time at the company than he's spending with his wife and family.
mm,
So that training culture is still not there in our industry. So I'm saying technical, non-technical. Tell me, Swarna, if a common labor is trained and made informed about the safety features of the machines that he is using and the general safety, wouldn't he be using that machine more efficiently? But you will agree to repair that machine 10 times, but you will not spend on training the labor on how to correctly use with all safety features in place.
true, true.
And that's the very sad part about it. The another thing I talk about is performance measurement and acknowledgement.
Mm,
Everybody in this world wants to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to be known. All right, come what may. Again, don't take it because they are paid, they are supposed to perform. Otherwise, the marketing team and others would not have performance bonuses linked to their salary. So link
Mm.
that to engineers and supervisors also. That if you complete by so and so date, these are my parameters. And if you meet these parameters, you will get an additional performance. Have an end of the year get together for the whole company and acknowledge them with just a trophy and a certificate. The person will strive to get that trophy and a certificate round the year. So, what is more cheaper for you? The third
Absolutely.
thing I say is gamify. If you have couple of projects happening, everybody loves to play game. We played games right from our childhood. So make them fight in a way, game may, as to
Yeah.
which project is going to happen better, which project is going to go faster. It also will build up a team building much better on that project, because everybody will be then striving towards that common goal of winning,
Yeah.
because they want that recognition. Again,
Mm.
who will benefit? The developer will benefit more than the employees and employee, and that is what they need to understand. That paying is
Mm.
not everything. You need to acknowledge them. You need to
Mm.
make them feel life, fun. If you're going to love what you're doing, you'll do it even better. So
Absolutely love the
the
point.
whole idea is
Yeah.
of non-traditional systems, which you can make it more organized. You can make it more quality and system
Right.
driven.
Exactly. I mean, the points are not new, but the way they have been built is what it is important. Ultimately, every one of us knows that appreciation is something that motivates more than anything else, and we all know the importance of healthy competition as well. So just making use of these two terms in the working style, and in putting advantages of it in life is what fetches the company more. Actually, that's a very true point.
So, Arnab, this is what we teach. I mean, as you know, I am a business efficiency consultant also and present
Mm.
strategist. So we teach this to our clients: "Ki do this, your life will become more easy." We make them see this point from their end. "Ki if I was to recognize you, would you not work harder?" Then he says, "Yeah." So I said, "Doesn't that apply good for your employees and your workers?"
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
they realize it, and then they've started doing it. At least the clients that we have.
Very awesome. Um, okay, and you also have suggested some behavioral changes in the book.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what is it like? What is that importance?
We real estate people are some of the biggest egoists in the world, including me. And ego is very dangerous. Ego
Yeah.
is like wearing a bomb around your waist and going to a suicide squad, waiting for your number to be called out. But ego, I mean, even the positive ego, if you nurture too much your positive ego also, it's going to be little more dangerous. It's like, when you wash your clothes with a soap, soap is good to wash the dirt, but you need to wash off that soap also along
Yeah.
with it. You can't leave the soap there.
Yes.
So even positive ego, you need to be little careful. And I'm saying, don't get into the negative ego thing, because it's not only going to hurt you, it's going to hurt the company, and it's going to more than the company, it's going to hurt you. So why don't you convert that negative ego into a challenge and say that if they think that I am not able to do and if they are abusing me today, it is in my hand to change their narrative. If I will not change their narrative, they are not going to change on their own. So use ego as your tool to work up, not going down. Then I'm saying, even if you are a peon in the office, don't lose your self-esteem, because Munna bhai, everybody's watched it. The sweeper. So even
Mm.
if you have the lowest, I mean, without you, the company can't do. Come what may. I mean, you may be replaced by somebody, but that post is not going anywhere. I am peon today, somebody else may come, but he will come as a peon. So that post is required. So your post has its own importance. So behave with that self-esteem that even I am responsible for the company, because
Yes.
I'm keeping the office clean, or because I'm working efficiently, or I'm more on time on my project, that is helping my company. And that
Right.
self-esteem is required by every individual. And the third thing I'm talking about is energy and emotion cycles. How to channelize that. You may feel down. I mean, believe me, besides ego, hate is the most powerful word. And it kills you like nothing else in this world. Ego and hate, these two words.
Mm.
Don't get into that. I mean, if somebody is not doing well with you, and I was talking with somebody else the other day also, I said, just ignore. Why do you want to keep harping? Why do you want him occupying space in your mind and make you negative? उसको तो कुछ नहीं जा रहा है, वो घर पे आराम से सोया है.
True. True.
You are not able to work with your energy because your energy is spent on something else which is not going to change anything except for making you ill. So use your energy, and everybody has their own energy cycle. You may be really energetic in the morning. Somebody may be very energetic in the afternoon. I'm a night person. My creative work happens from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I do most of my creative work at night, unless there is
Mm.
something which is D-date. Yes, you need to
Mm.
do on date. So use that cycle of your energy cycle and do best work in that cycle period,
Mm.
and use that energy in a such a way that you can distribute work more efficiently during the day and
Mm.
get more done within the same number of hours. Otherwise,
True.
I mean, I'm the living proof. I'm not working more than 5 hours. Believe me, Swarna. And I'm still working, so I'm doing something right. That's why I have business in my hand.
Very nice. That's a very valid point with a live example in front of us. So we have the proof as well. So, where you just be aware of, we have to be aware of what we are doing and bring our energies to that point, to that level of what we are, doing on. So, like Mr. Nimish said, every one of us have a cycle, our own energy cycle. So that is also an important point to notice. What is the best time for us to bring out the best in us? So that is also important. So every point what we have, Mr. Nimish has shared here is a very very valid point. It's not just in the sense of real estate completely, but it is applied to everybody in general. Like how the discussion goes, how the discussion went. It's very obvious that we can apply all these principles in everybody's life, in everybody's work culture. So thank you, Nimish, Mr. Nimish, for sharing that. And we absolutely loved every single point you have shared with us today. And we are now eager to grab the book soon and go through it. So ladies and gentlemen, it's so worth to buy a book now. It's so like how you have seen our conversation. So I know you must be very interested to go through the book as well. So just I think it's available on Amazon, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's become Amazon bestseller. Fortunately, it's an Amazon bestseller, and it's available in two forms: paperback and Kindle version, and
Okay.
both are available on the Amazon.
Yeah, so it's a good news for all of
Power of
us
the audio.
yeah, so it's a good news for both the section of people who read and who listen. So don't just anytime, ladies and gentlemen, just go grab the book soon and enjoy the benefits. Start reading. So reading is what fetches you the most than anything else in this world. You don't have to go through every single experience of your life. You can just learn from sessions like this, from the talks like this, and from the books written by good people. Thank you so much, Mr. Nimish. Yeah, it's been a wonderful talk with you. It's a lot of learnings and takeaways today from today's session. So thank you so much for your wonderful time. We absolutely loved, what the book holds is for all of us.
It was pleasure was all mine, Swarna, and thank you once again for calling me on such a prestigious platform.
Thank you so much. We wish to see you again with yet another book. All the best for your future.
Thank you.
I don't say future now. Future is not even for you. all the
Yeah,
best for this movement.
thank you, Swana.
Thank you so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy the session as much as we all loved doing it. Thank you for your time. And valuable, like you have taken time for us today, and thank you so much for that. We're grateful for you, and start reading and do make reading a habit. Bring that habit back into our lives and let's reap benefits out of it. Thank you and take care. Bye bye. See you all next week. Thank you.